Yes, sir.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call the March 11, 2024 Mantua Township Committee meeting to order. It's currently 6 p.m. in the evening. Would you all please stand for a flag salute? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you would please bow your heads for a moment of silence. Can be seated. As required by the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by adopting a schedule of regular meetings for the year 2024. The schedule was posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building and was mailed to the South Jersey Times, Courier Post newspapers on January 4, 2024. Notice was also filed with the township clerk. Roll call, please.
Committeeman Layton.
Here.
Committeeman Leggy.
Here.
Committeewoman Lukin.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Scarrato.
Here.
Mayor Zimmerman.
Here.
Mrs. Belisi. Here. Mr. Platt.
Here.
Mr. Demers.
Here.
Mr. Bryson.
Here.
Chief White.
Here. Can we have an approval of the minutes? This is for February 12, 2024, both the regular meeting and for the closed session. Can we have approval, motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, Pam?
Committeeman Layton.
Yes.
Committeeman Leggy.
Yes.
Committeewoman Lukin.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Scarrato.
Yes.
Mayor Zimmerman.
Yes. Okay, at this time, I'd like to call Joe Henry up from Hardenberg Insurance for a safety presentation. How are you, Joe?
Very good, how are you?
Good, sir. Thank you for coming out and
My pleasure, you know it's
doing
great,
the
I'm here.
annual presentation.
Yep, you know why I'm here, so I'm gonna belabor that. So I will jump right into it. As you know, safety is a big component of of the GIF, so that's why we bring something to you every year. So this year, accident investigation, which is what your safety committee does when you have an incident in town. They'll go over it, review it with the idea that we don't want to see that happen again. So without further ado, I will jump into that. Breeze through quickly for you. Our objectives is when to conduct the investigation, understanding steps involved in determining the root cause and contributing factors, which is the single most important thing to find out, because if we don't find out why it happened, we won't know how to correct it. Complete a report properly and make any changes if needed. We would have there would be an investigation documenting facts that are found at the accident scene, figuring out that cause, as I previously mentioned, and putting corrective action in place immediately to prevent any more accident, which is really the key. If it's a lack of training caused it, we can train that employee and any others that need that training, or lack of an engineering device, such as some type of equipment. You can put it into play to prevent injuries as well. A little example of that is over the years we've seen a lot of injuries with people lifting manhole covers. There are engineering devices to lift those, so in the end it's a lot more sensible to pay to buy one of those than to have a back injury to pay for it. Your plan highlights preservation of life is key. If there is an injury that is serious, call 911 immediately, preserve any evidence that can be used later, secure the accident scene, gather your information, identify corrective measures as I previously mentioned. Who's going to conduct your investigation and who receives the accident report. You want those to go to a person in charge, because if not, it's in all likelihood it's going to sit. Nothing's going to occur as a result of your efforts. Reporting your accident, follow the procedures in your plan. As I mentioned, report it to someone in authority. Report it immediately. Statistics show that if you report an accident within 3 days' time, the cost of the accident is less, and also the person gets back to work sooner. The same day to report it would be great, but we do like to see that 3-day window. And also, as I said, conducting the accident investigation, someone in authority. Securing your scene, control access to the scene. You don't want anybody in disrupting the scene. Use some sort of barriers to keep the area out as when the accident occurred. Don't adjust or change the accident scene unless it is required, as I mentioned earlier, to help someone to get into a safe area. So when gathering your information, questions will be plentiful. who was injured, what caused the accident, where it occurred, when it occurred, how. Don't forget to question your witnesses. If they're there, get names, numbers, addresses of those witnesses, and why, which is your biggest question of all. It's how we're going to prevent any further accidents. Continuing with information gathering, view the accident scene immediately, provide a clear description of the accident, provide a clear description of the location, and take photographs or video. Everybody's got a cell phone, so there's no reason to not take photos of an accident scene. Collect any items associated with it. Label and secure your items, and identifying your witnesses, getting written statements. It's best to get those witness statements the day of the accident while everything's fresh in their mind, and also document what they heard and saw. We have a saying, documentation is our salvation when you get to court. If it does go to litigation, that will help, especially if there's a third party involved. And lastly, corrective measures and tools, workplace provisions, purchase new tools and equipment. As I mentioned earlier, if it was an engineering device problem, you can redesign a work area if that caused any type of slips, trips, and falls. Improve your housekeeping. That's always a top 10 OSHA violation. Poor housekeeping does lead to a lot of accidents on the scene, especially slips, trips, and falls. You can install warning devices if needed. Remove broken equipment and the tools, and also improve lighting because, again, that does cause slips, trips, and falls in the workplace. So that concludes this year's safety on the agenda. If there's any questions, feel free to ask. If not, I'm out of here till next year.
Thank you so much, Joe. Does anybody from the committee have any questions or comments?
All right?
Appreciate it. Has that really been a year?
Yeah, I always like to start here because you're nice. Springtime. I'm here.
Very good. Well, we look forward to seeing you next year, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Have a great one. Oh, I'm sorry. We're gonna go back to the minutes. I apologize. I did the approval of the minutes for the February 12th regular meeting and closed session, but I didn't do the approval of the minutes for the February 28th special meeting that we had. So can I have a motion to approve the February 28th minutes?
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Committeeman Layton.
Yes.
Committeeman Leggy.
Abstain.
Committeewoman Lukens.
Abstain.
Deputy Mayor Scarrato.
Yes.
Mayor Zimmerman.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Moving ahead, we are going to go to our professionals and our department heads. So we'll start with Mr. Bryson, our township engineer. Sir?
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple updates. Last week, we had a pre-construction meeting with Paving Plus for the West Mercer project. So Paving Plus is their schedule, and they anticipate starting next week, starting with the concrete work. We anticipate at least 2 weeks for that. And then after the concrete work is done, the paving crew will mobilize immediately. In the meantime, at the same meeting, we did discuss our blanket paving improvements that we wanted to get done in town. So they're gonna mobilize the paving crew for West Mercer and the blanket paving repairs concurrently. So once they're in, all those projects will be completed at the same time. So we anticipate all that being done within the next month. And that's all I have.
Thank you, John. Glenn, you're up, sir. Public Works.
Yes, I had a few things, Mayor. March 18th starts the pickup of green carts for the year of 2024. It will go through till October 25th, 2024. And also we start picking up for that week, the 18th, tires. In conjunction with the Gloucester County Improvement Authority Tire Amnesty Program. Also, excuse me, we are continuing picking up brush from the January windstorms. We still have brush cranes out, both brush cranes as well, and we're trying to get that cleaned up. You can drive through any of the areas and it's out there. It's very prevalent. In the next few weeks, we are prepping to regrade and mill the Sewell Rail Dogs Sewell baseball parking lot. Also, we continue to assist the GCUA in clearing the trees and debris from the Chestnut Branch Creek along their sanitary sewer line. And one last thing, the Public Works Convenience Center drop-off is now back to its normal schedule of fourth Saturday of each month, between 10 and 2. And that's all I had, Mayor.
Okay, thanks, Glenn. Anybody have anything for Glenn and or John? I skipped John, I think.
I just had a quick, Glenn, what was the green cards March?
March 18th
March 18th.
through till October 25th.
And the other thing, Glenn, the tire amnesty,
Yes,
when does that start? When even?
the 18th, and it's gonna go through that week.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm sure we advertise it or we.
Yes,
Oh,
we advertise, we have it on the website and everything.
And how do we handle the tires? Like maybe every once in a while I see a tire out there, do we just?
So the only time we can pick up tires is in this period. We're not allowed to take tires.
Right.
We're not allowed to store tires. We have tires for our service.
So you can't have a dumpster back there and just
No.
go, no?
No, we cannot do that. What we have existing right now is for our fleet tires that we use and throughout our department and construction and code enforcement. So, and they're going within 2 weeks, we have a service that picks those up. So,
Maybe, hopefully, maybe somebody will spot the amnesty and get the tires, because we also wanted to see one out there.
right, from time to time we do.
Sorry, how many tires per person for that?
4, no rims, and they can't be truck, like a passenger truck tire, but not like a section. Yeah,
Anybody
it
else?
worked out well last year, so,
Thank you, Glenn.
welcome.
Chief, Police Department?
Thank you, sir. Submitted a written report. I'll just touch on a couple highlights. With AJ Glazier, who started the Class 2 Academy recently, anticipated graduation around June, so we'll be looking forward to him finishing up and getting him on the road to help out. We got a couple of new different colored cars that I believe I sent photos of to the committee, one silver and one gray, just trying out new things to get away from the black cars. We took a tour of the Fossil Museum to discuss some security stuff and how patrols are going to work and things like that. The place is pretty impressive. If you've never been in there, I highly recommend taking a tour. It's really coming along and they anticipate it being done pretty quickly. Our cell ceilings are finished. I believe we're waiting for some kind of final approval. But they're done, so I don't know exactly what needs to be done after that. We've been pretty busy. There's some stuff listed in the report. I don't think any of it indicates that any of the residents are at any increased levels of harm. It's just the way things were for this past month. With that said, I want to encourage everybody to please lock your doors. It's the easiest way to avoid becoming a victim of just about anything. Is locking your doors. You'd be amazed at how many cars are left unlocked. It's very frustrating. And be aware of all the scams that are out there. Go to the ftc.gov website. They have a whole list of scams, explains what they are, and that's in my opinion the best way to avoid becoming a victim of them as well. And that's everything I have.
I have a couple comments, Chief. So relative to the fossil park, just would like to make everybody aware that we did schedule Dr. Kenneth Lacavera, a paleontologist from the Edelman Fossil Park, to speak at our April 8th meeting. It's anticipated now that the park should be opening sometime in the summer. So with some of the questions we had previously and with the opening right around the corner, I thought it would be a good idea to get him in here for 10 or 15 minutes to give us an update. And if the committee is interested, he's also offered for us to be able to take a tour before the opening as well. It's been a couple months since I've been out there and it was spectacular then, so I can only imagine what it looks like now. So I just wanted to mention that. So he'll be here April 8th at 6 o'clock. I also wanted to touch on the police department relative to last month's. I saw the crime log was put out. over 2,600 calls for service, 90 arrests, 281 tickets, 198 investigation reports, and investigated 25 motor vehicle crashes. I mention this because, again, like the chief said, safe community, big part of it as a result of the police department. Only 6 cases in January are still pending, still under investigation or pending, being closed out. So great numbers. It's been that way for several months to a year. They're making a ton of arrests. We had that unfortunate rare situation that occurred last week or a week and a half ago, whenever it was, and I'm sure they're doing their due diligence to solve that as well. So I just wanted to mention those couple things. Anybody else have anything for the chief? Nobody? Okay. Moving along, next on the agenda is public portion. Before we open up, the beginning of our meeting for public portion this evening will be for those who would like to comment publicly relative to agenda items only, meaning anything specifically related to tonight's meeting agenda only. If time permits, we will then take any other public comments relative to issues not on this meeting's agenda. Before we open the meeting to the public, I'd like to summarize a few things like I do at each meeting that will help clarify our process and encourage you to properly participate in township business. We highly value everybody's input and want to ensure that you have an equal and fair opportunity to speak. Therefore, we are respectfully requesting your cooperation so that this can be done in an efficient and orderly fashion. Please familiarize yourselves with Resolution 32, 2024, which outlines the decorum for our public participation. It's posted on the township website. It has been attached to tonight's meeting's agenda and is posted on the main entrance to the township building and at the speaking podium in this room. Some things to consider. All remarks shall be addressed to the township committee as a governing body and not to any particular member or members. Please understand that we have a 5-minute rule for each participant and that we may limit the public portion to 30 minutes. You may not yield your time to another speaker and you may only comment once at each meeting. All members attending our meetings must treat each person, including the governing body and employees, with respect. Shouting from the audience is strictly prohibited, and no unruly or disruptive behavior or personally offensive or abusive remarks or behavior is acceptable. So at this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to open to the public portion, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, public portion is open. At this time, this is for agenda items only. If you would like to speak on an agenda item at this time, please come up to the mic, state your name and address for the record.
Carol Rhodes, 106 Breakneck Road in Barnesboro. Since you had mentioned some safety issues, when you're driving down Main Street and you're about to make your right-hand turn onto Route 45, there's the Welcome to Mantua sign in Telford. And it really blocks your view of traffic. And about a couple years ago, I was in a minor fender bender there. I was going to pull out, but somebody was coming fast, so a young kid hit me, and it was minor. And the police came, and he said, oh, there's tons of accidents here. Really is a bad spot. And when you're talking about safety, move the sign. I mean, it's very minor for you to do that. And I think it would help prevent accidents since you're so concerned with safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Chief, would you guys mind taking a look at that?
Yep,
And,
sure do.
If it needs to be moved, can you talk to the cooks and see what can be done about that?
Sure can.
Thank you, sir. Okay, hold on one second. Anybody for agenda items only first?
I have a question
For agenda?
about the minutes on the agenda.
Okay, come on. Sorry about that.
My question is, there was an error on the minutes that I've read since December. There was an omission, and I did not see them. I read them all. I did not see the results of Resolution 187, 2023 reflected in the minutes. I would like to see that reflected in the minutes and get a copy of that.
Sure, I'd have to look into that.
Look into that?
Absolutely, sure. We can
Thank
certainly do
you.
that.
Okay, does anybody have anything for agenda items? Okay, seeing nothing relative to just agenda items, now anything for public comment. I just ask you again, this time, to come up to the mic and state your name and address for the record, please.
Charles Hughes, 31 North Child Street, Woodbury, New Jersey. I'm following up on a comment at the last meeting when both Mr. Alverio and myself talked about the rideshare concept that's growing in New Jersey. I think we mentioned about the rideshare they have in Jersey City that started in 2020, and they've moved 2 million riders on that system. In July of 2023, Camden City started a rideshare, and last Friday we went and took a ride on it, and it works exactly the way it was advertised. You get you have an app on your phone, just like as if it was Uber. I said I want to go from here to there. It said we'll pick you up in 20 minutes. They picked us up in 20 minutes. It cost me $2, and I had to pay an extra $1 for Tony to ride. There was already somebody in the car.
Did he reimburse you?
Maybe, I don't recollect.
I'm just teasing.
So the thing is, it works. It's working up there. I asked the driver, I said, are you busy or are you sitting in the parking lot all day? She said, no, the car's always moving. And there was somebody already in the car when we got in there that they picked up before they got us, and then they had to take them afterwards. So that system's working. I found out today that the city of New Brunswick is doing it as of February of 2024. And I think it's the shape of things to come. I saw a letter in the South Jersey Times in January by the mayor of Logan Township. And it was entitled, the letter was entitled, "So Many Jobs, No Way to Get Them There." And he said, I have 4,500 job openings in Logan Township, I guess between Pure Land and all the warehouses. And he said several hundred of those jobs will not be filled because I can't get the working poor, he calls the people who don't have cars, the working poor to work. And I'm in correspondence with Gloucester County to see if Gloucester County couldn't have a rideshare program, the same as Jersey City and these other places, so that people in Mantua, anywhere in Gloucester County, could get within Gloucester County for $2 or $3, and I think it would do a lot
And Camden.
to keep people employed and also to make transportation better. It's the wave of the future. It's transportation that uses the computer that's in everybody's smartphone.
Are you finished?
Yeah.
Have you proposed the idea to the county commissioners? I would think
Yeah.
the county, our
Well, I
size
haven't
not
been-
being huge, it
No,
would
I haven't-
probably.
I haven't been to the meeting to announce it, but I've corresponded with them. And I sent an email about a month ago to Mayor Minor of Logan Township, and I copied Director DeMarco and Jefferson, he's the transportation committee guy, and also the mayor of Camden and the mayor of Jersey City. And I waited a couple of days. I called the town hall in Logan Township, and I got an email from him saying, I've spoken to them all and we're looking at it. So I think 5 years from now, nobody's gonna remember who Charlie Hughes is, but they might not remember a day when they didn't see these minivans going around picking people up and taking them where they had to go. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Just ask you if you would kindly state your name and address for the record, please.
Committee, Mayor, Bill Wilkinson, Mantua. Just wanted to give a heads up. You mentioned April 8th. April 8th is also the start of the Mondays in Mantua, which for those of you that may be familiar, maybe not, this is now the third season where folks gather in the old Kmart parking lot, now the Cube Smart, and basically the AutoZone. It's every Monday, weather permitting, and these folks gather with some very unique cars. It's been a very interesting experience, and the local restaurants do benefit from this. Sales Pizza, Dippy's, and various others I encourage anyone and everyone in the town to check it out. It is definitely a family-oriented event. It's a very friendly crowd, and they definitely appreciate the town and everyone here to take a look at it and definitely check it out. Like I said, this will be the third year for it, and it's been pretty fun, I can guarantee. So as we have the Fossil Park on one side of the town, we've got this going on the other side of town. It definitely makes the town very diverse, things going on, and I encourage everyone to come check it out. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Did you say the start time and when does it end?
The start time is 5 p.m. and it usually ends around dusk. And as we know, daylight savings time just happened, so
It's every Monday, correct?
it's every Monday, weather permitting.
I had an opportunity, I went over one night last year and Bill took me around the grounds and everybody was very cordial and receptive to me being there. And I would encourage, everybody on committee and in the audience to stop by. There's dozens and dozens of cars the night that I was there, and I think it was early on in the season.
Yep, I can't stress enough. It's a very friendly atmosphere, very family-oriented event. Plenty of people walking around eating Dippy's ice cream, plenty of people going up to sales, getting pizza, getting cheesesteaks. Again, very good atmosphere, and I think it very helps the town, well-rounded out. So again, encourage everyone to check it out.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Last call. Seeing nobody, can I have a motion to close? Second. All in favor? Moving along to ordinance number 1, 2024. This is a public hearing and for adoption. This is an ordinance of the Township of Mantua, County of Gloucester, State of New Jersey, providing for the renaming of Block 142, Lot 7, from Fossil Park Way to Million Mosasaur Way. This ordinance will rename the road leading into Edelman Fossil Park to the name that I just mentioned, Million Mosasaur Way. So can we have a motion to open to the public, please?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, we're open to the public, open for this ordinance only, ordinance 1, 2024. If you'd like to speak on this ordinance, I'd ask you to kindly step up to the mic, state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, can we have a motion to close?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt. Second.
Roll call, Pam.
Committeeman Layton.
Yes.
Committeeman Leggy.
Yes.
Committeewoman Lucas.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Scarrato.
Yes.
Mayor Zimmerman.
Yes. Next on the agenda, ordinance 2, 2024, again, public hearing and for adoption. This is an ordinance of the Township of Mantua amending Chapter 291, Animals of the Code of the Township of Mantua. This ordinance will amend the Township Code to permit dogs on a leash in Chestnut Branch Park. I think it's important, I just want to cover a couple of things relative to this ordinance as it's for adoption. No dog shall be permitted to run at large. All dogs, this is per the ordinance, are required to be on a leash no greater than 6 feet in length. Every dog shall possess a valid license through the Township of Mantua or where the respective owner resides. Every person possessing a dog is required to immediately pick up and dispose of the dog's wastes. And no unruly or aggressive dogs are permitted as per state statute. This will go in effect, presuming that gets adopted tonight, on Monday, March 8th at sunrise, March 18th at sunrise. We'll have a kickoff event called Pups in the Park, which will be Saturday, May 4th from 9 to 12. I can't emphasize enough, I sent some. I can't emphasize enough, people need to police themselves. This is a change. A big part of it's going to be educating the public, educating those that will be out there with their dogs. We are in the process of installing minimum about a half a dozen cleanup stations with bags for removal of the waste and just combination with the disposal area. We will have signs that will be, some of the signs have already been changed, but we'll have additional signs out there. The ones that say no dogs will say dogs must always be leashed. Owners must clean up after dogs. We're gonna put something on the entrance sign for the first couple weeks, educating the public. And I spoke to the police chief, park director, and the chief did get back to me via email. He's gonna put something out to patrol officers to keep an extra eye on this and put some of our SLEOs out there to enforce it. As part of the signs, he made a good recommendation to put on the signs that if we see violations, anybody out there, obviously I would suggest approaching somebody that's, has their dog running off leash, mention to them kindly that the rules are to keep it on the leash. If for some reason they get nasty or indignant, then we would suggest calling the non-emergency number 589-0911 and allowing the police to deal with it. So again, it's going to be some growing pains. I can tell you the vast majority of the people have been positive. It was on a Mantua social media site. There was, as of Friday or Saturday, over 200 people that liked it or loved it. I received only 2 people that spoke negatively about it, and I think there were 2 or 3 negative emojis relative to it on social media. So the vast majority of people are looking forward to it. They're hoping that it works. We hope it works. There have been some reservations, so I want to put on the record, the committee certainly reserves the right to rein this in and rescind the ordinance if it doesn't work. So with that being said, can we have a motion to open to the public for ordinance 2/2024?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, ordinance 2/2024 is open to the public. If you'd like to comment, please come up to the mic, state your name and address for the record. Seeing nobody, can we have a motion to close?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt. Second.
Roll call, Pam?
Committeeman Layton.
Yes.
Committeeman Leggy.
Yes.
Committeewoman Lucas.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Scarrato.
Yes.
Mayor Zimmerman.
Yes. Okay. Next on the agenda is ordinance 3/2024. This is also public hearing and for adoption. An ordinance of the Township Committee of the Township of Mantua, County of Gloucester, State of New Jersey, adopting and amending the Route 322 Rowan West Campus Regional Development Plan for the property identified as Block 261, Lots 1, 2, 3, 3.01, 4, 4.01, 6, 7.01, 7.02, 8, 9, 9.02, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.01, 16.01, 17.01, 18, 18.01, 02, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25 from the tax maps of the Township of Mantua. This ordinance will adopt an amendment to the Route 322 redevelopment plan. This is why we held, there was time sensitivity to this. This is why we held the February 28th special meeting. That meeting was solely related to this agenda item only. It was introduced. That was the only business that was conducted at that meeting. So at this time, motion open to the public, sorry.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, I ask if anybody would like to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance only, to please step up to the mic and state your name and address for the record.
My name is Gregory Shast. I live at 39 Silver Creek Drive in Mantua, New Jersey. I'm speaking on this ordinance because the process that will be used is an anaerobic fermentation which will yield methane, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen sulfide. Methane is what climate activists point to as why we shouldn't use fossil fuels or try to extract them. But yet, we're thinking of approving this type of process within our township. Hydrogen sulfide is a toxic. it will have to be disposed of. Hydrogen sulfide, for most of you, can recognize it because it smells like rotten eggs. To support this process, whoever is running it is going to need storage tanks to store the methane, because that's what they're after. It's also going to need transportation to transport this methane through our area, most probably in tank trucks. All around us, we have people objecting to various toxins being handled by either rail cars or tank trucks. But yet, we're going to approve this. I think it is not a wise decision to do that. Because in order to make this a commercial enterprise profitable, they're going to have to generate large quantities of methane. Errors occur. It's only a matter of time before we have a methane leak in this process. And it's going to be up to our public service people to react to that. Our fire department, possibly our police, and who knows what else. And if we have a truck carrying methane through Mantua Township, it gets in an accident, the same problem occurs. So we're only increasing the probability of this incident occurring by approving this activity. So I would hope you would consider that information when you make your final judgment. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I just comment, sir? So I'm presuming this was discussed at the Land Use Board meeting because the recommendation came from the board to move forward with this. And
I understand that. Unfortunately, while I am a member of that board, due to a personal problem that night, I could not attend. Or I would have made the same statement then at that board. But things happen. When I heard it was on the agenda today, I decided to come and voice my opinion, which, being a member of the public, I have the right to do.
certainly, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Anybody else comment on this item and this item only, this ordinance? Seeing none, a motion to close.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt. Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeeman Layton.
Yes.
Committeeman Leggy.
Yes.
Committeewoman Lukens.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Scarrato.
Yes.
Mayor Zimmerman.
Yes. Okay, next on the agenda is ordinance 4. This is an introduction. This is an ordinance of the Township of Mantua, amending Chapter 230 Land Development of the Code of the Township of Mantua. This ordinance will amend AR Agricultural Residential District in the Land Development section of the Township Code. Can we have a motion to introduce, please?
Make a motion to introduce. Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeeman Layton.
Yes.
Committeeman Leggy.
Yes.
Committeewoman Lukens.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Scarrato.
Yes.
Mayor Zimmerman.
Yes.
Mayor, this should also be referred to the land use board. Sorry.
Yes. Moving along, we are going to do resolutions by consent. Resolution 53, 2024 through 62, 24 are considered to be routine by the Township Committee and will be acted upon in one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a Township Committee person requests so. In the event, the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in normal sequence of the agenda. So can I have a motion to authorize the consent agenda?
Motion to authorize consent agenda. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so next we're going to have a motion to adopt resolutions R53, 2024 through R62, 24.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeeman Layton?
Yes.
Committeeman Lukens?
Yes.
Committeeman Leggy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Scarrato?
Yes.
Mayor Zimmerman?
Yes. Next, remarks from the Township Committee. Committeeman Layton.
Just had a meeting with Historical to go over some of the building maintenance stuff and some improvements over there last weekend. Referred to Glenn and Jen to help us out with some of the improvements, and that's about it.
Thank you.
Just want to give compliments to our Public Works. I was in Egg Harbor Township today and hearing a lot of complaints from residents down there that they don't pick up their recyclables anymore because they don't have enough staff to do it. And, you know, our Public Works is top notch. So thank you, Glenn, for everything you do for our township.
Well, I'll let you guys know. Thank you.
John?
Just one thing, Mayor, April 27th at 6 o'clock is the VFW Community Awards. So, anyone can put it
April
on-
27th.
Put it on the calendar. Yep. 6 o'clock.
Thank you, sir. Deputy Mayor Scarrato.
Easter's early this year, so everyone have a happy Easter.
I just wanted to comment on one thing. This was an article I saw on NewJersey.com. It was dated February 3rd. You know, we hear all the negatives and not so positives, so I thought I'd end things on a positive note. It says 9 New Jersey counties ranked in the top 150 hottest real estate markets in the nation. Nine counties in New Jersey, and Gloucester County is actually ranked number 14. So I thought that was a positive thing, and I'll end on that note. Jen?
I don't have anything tonight, other than we are gearing up for the budget process. We met with all the department heads over the past 2 weeks. So we will be presenting or introducing the budget at the next meeting to all of committee. And we'll also be working with all the department heads for the capital budget. We also had a really successful land sale last week that generated over $100,000 for the township. So we're very, very happy about that. Those were the in-rent foreclosure process that started prior to COVID that we finally concluded. So myself, along with our solicitor, conducted the last land sale for quite some time until we start the next round of foreclosures. But all in all, it's been a really successful process for the town. And that's all I have tonight.
Okay, thank you. Approval of the bill list, motion?
Pay the bills.
Second. Roll call, Pam.
Committeeman Layton?
Recuse.
Committeewoman Lukens?
Yes.
Committeeman Leggy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Scarrato?
Yes.
Mayor Zimmerman?
Yes. Motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
We're now adjourned and it's 6:43 PM.